Hey everyone, Raj here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I am back with a review on a fragrance from the house of Guerlain. This is one of their, I think the latest mainstream release in their men's line. The fragrance is called L'Homme Idéal, which means the ideal man, created by their kind of head perfumer there, Thierry Vasser. According to the Guerlain website, it was inspired by Jiki, an older fragrance from the house, and a famous one as well. So typical Guerlain mainstream prices for this. I've been working off a sample here which I got. So yeah, Guerlain have really made an effort in terms of marketing this fragrance. They have made a few videos where Thierry Vasser talks about the creation and the ingredients in this. There's some more creative style videos that they've made, and the bottle definitely looks good, and it looks like they're really making a push to make this fragrance noticed within the mainstream line. I always wondered why Guerlain have never really gone down that path. You know, I've spoken to a few people. Sorry, not spoken to a few people. When I've mentioned the name of Guerlain to a few people who are what I would call the average consumer, they've never heard of the brand. They have no idea what I'm talking about. And that's strange because it's such a famous house in terms of, you know, its history. It's steeped in history. The famous fragrances it has created, iconic ones. But in terms of that's really appreciated by the enthusiasts, and the people who know about Guerlain are likely to be really into their fragrances. But the mainstream market, I wonder how many people know them, and whether that's something to do with distribution or marketing of the scents or the scents themselves. I'm not really sure. So it's interesting to see this new marketing tactic, maybe, that they have adopted, basically. I don't know if they're going to be doing that in the future, but we will see. So in terms of notes for this one, the opening is made up of citrus, not specifying which one, rosemary and orange blossom. In the middle they have created this Amaretto accord, kind of like an alcoholic drink, made up of almond and tonka bean. And in the base there is vetiver, cedar and leather. So, you know, an easy to reach for fragrance, easy to wear, pretty good for work, kind of more suitable for kind of like evening dinners, that kind of thing, you know, when you're dressed up a little bit more. It's a fragrance that lasts on my skin not a great amount of time, probably about 5 hours. It sits a little bit closer to the skin, which maybe some people would dislike, but some people like that, you know. It's not all about loud fragrances. Some people like something that is much closer to their skin. And performance is okay, but nothing spectacular, to be honest. So yeah, the opening blast, what I get is kind of like a weird kind of generic sweetness, you know, like you might find this sweet accord in many other mainstream fragrances, but this time it's done to a slightly more refined level, only a little bit more. It's surrounded by this almondy liqueur type note, which reminds me a little bit of Mandorlo di Sicilia from Acqua di Parma. Not as sweet, and there is this kind of nutty vibe in there as well. I get almost like a thick butter or something like that, you know, like a peanut butter, not exactly like peanut butter, but that type of accord with like a hazelnut butter or something like that. It's a bit strange, but I do like it. That's probably the best part of the fragrance, which is not much, to be honest. I mean, I basically described 2 accords, and that's the fragrance, to be honest. It doesn't really develop into anything special. This sweetness then subsides into a skin-like caramel scent, which is, you know, it's decent, but it doesn't excite me at all. Nothing in this fragrance really excites me or makes me think, you know, wow, it doesn't wow me. It doesn't stand out enough. I'm quite indifferent about this fragrance, to be honest, and maybe a little bit disappointed. I think, you know, Guerlain has so much potential, and when they do it right, they really do it right. I'm just not convinced that this is anything that is gonna sort of grab many people's attention. I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but I think there are better options out there. You know, I think that 2 fragrances came to mind when I smelled this. Spice Bomb from Victor and Rolf. The kind of not quite the cinnamonness, but the kind of vanilla sweetness in there. The opening of Spice Bomb is a little bit harsh to me, but the dry down, there are similarities, kind of more similarities to Hermes Ambre Narguilé from their Emerson's collection, where you kind of have this kind of boozy apple accord there. There's a kind of boozy almond accord here. So there are some similarities, but it is a fragrance in its own right. But I just feel there are other fragrances out there which are similar and just do a better job. I've already mentioned 3 in this review already, all of them are which are better than this. So, you know, it just fizzles away in my skin and it's very forgettable. So it kind of pains me to say all of this, guys, because I really like Guerlain as a house. I respect them a lot. They're not going to get it right all the time. And I see what they're trying to do, kind of push their way into the mainstream market. And they do have some good fragrances out there which are accessible to the average consumer. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this. I'm going to give it a rating of 6 out of 10. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Always great to hear from you. Check out my Facebook page. I definitely need to start posting more on there. I definitely will. And take care. Bye.